Money has the power to impact every aspect of your life. So, would you like to know how to create financial abundance for yourself and achieve freedom in designing the blueprint of your life? Hi, I'm Anika, and this is episode 24 of Rewrite Your Story, where we're taking a deep dive into the financial aspect of your life and understanding how the power of it can impact every category of your life that we've covered in the life book so far, as well as the overall quality of your life. I'll walk you through understanding why so many of us are conflicted and struggle with this so important category of our life by defining the premise, the vision, the purpose, and the strategy using the PVPS model from Lifebook. So let's get started with understanding why do so many of us struggle with this category. Let's understand, why do we need money? It's really important, yeah? Symbol of status, symbol of respect, symbol of achievement, recognition, success. It helps us buy things that we want. It helps us to invest. It helps us to grow. All of us want it. But still, we despise and feel jealous, often have negative perceptions when we see or hear of the rich. Why? We have this voice at the back of our head which says, money is evil. I mean, isn't this such a dichotomy to want something and then believe we don't want a lot of it or too much of it? I mean, what a conundrum. That just creates so much conflict in our mind all the time at several events and demonstrates contradiction between our spending and our saving behaviors. Among all the subjects that we're taught at school, we don't actually learn about money. We don't learn what is money, what is the use of it, the purpose of it, how to make it, and more importantly, how to manage it. I mean, financial understanding is the most common and the biggest gap of understanding for most of us. Really strange. Such an important topic and subject, but we are taught the least about it. And most of us know the least about it, unless finance has been your career path. So what ends up happening in the absence of having a clarity and a good understanding of its purpose, we end up creating our own understanding and our own perceptions around money based on our experiences in childhood. So the environment that we grew up in, the financial status that we grew up in, the belief systems in the household around savings, the experiences of feeling scarcity or not enough. These get stuck with us over the years, irrespective of what our financial status ends up being when we end up having our own careers and building our own career paths. They get stuck to us. These beliefs we created for ourselves now begin to limit our expanse into this category of life. And we start demonstrating conflict and contradiction between our spending and our saving behaviors. How many of us park our cars outside the mall to save a small value, inconvenience ourselves for walking 200, 300, 500 meters to the mall, but will go and spend 10 times that amount over shopping or over a meal inside the mall? I mean, if we can afford to shop and eat at the mall, why should we not be able to afford the parking fee? That doesn't make sense. And this is because we're conflicted in our mind based on whatever belief systems and limitations we have created for ourselves on the experiences that we had in our childhood. So let's see how can we have a better understanding of money and set down a clear premise for ourselves so that we can have financial abundance in our life. So let's start with, what is money to you? What do you understand of money? What does it do for you? Is it something that you work hard for and then you get paid based on what others think you deserve? Or is it a tool of trade that you exchange your skills, expertise, your knowledge, or your passion, whatever you are good at, in order to contribute to solving a problem or addressing a need? Do you see the difference between the two? Working for something and getting paid based on what somebody else believes your value is, and treating it as a tool of trade for your experience in exchange to a solution that you provide to somebody that needs it, thereby creating value. The first description of being paid based on the value determined by someone else comes from a place of limitation, comes from a place of self-doubt. It comes from a place of lack of worth. The second one comes from a place of abundance, comes from a place of confidence and a clarity on self-worth. The first one is a means for survival. The second one is an end goal of thriving. First one's a good and healthy relationship with money. The second one is an unhealthy, poor relationship with money. So, how would you like to define your belief systems around money? How would you like to reframe your relationship with money so that it is not considered evil in your mind, but it is considered something of value creation? Let's now look at how can we define the vision. Once you have identified your premise, we can set down the vision for creating financial success and freedom for yourself. Imagine that wealth is a romantic partner. How would you treat it? What are you willing to give into the relationship with your romantic partner, your wealth, so that it grows, it blossoms, and it only gets better and stronger? What is that value that you can create to trade in terms of the offer that you make to contribute to your own business, to your job, to your customers, your suppliers, to the people around you? Who do you need to be to woo this important partner for your life? What are those limitations that you identified under the premise that you would like to replace? What would be those empowering beliefs that you want to replace about wealth? Where there is a will, there is a way. So, what is the foundation of your will to gain that financial abundance for yourself or improve wealth creation for yourself? Now, can you put down a number without self-doubt? Where and what do you want to be financially? Where are you now? What would you really want by the end of this year? What would you want by the end of 3 years? And what would you want by the end of 5 years? Now, you want to set the bar high enough for it to sound both exciting and scary for yourself. Check out episode 7, where we talked about efficient goal setting, in which we cover how you want to have goals that are both scary and exciting for you to stay committed and learn and grow with them. Once you've got these defined for yourself, we can then move on to the purpose. You want to define, why do you want more money in your life? What is it going to change in your life? How is that going to change what you can do for others in your life? For me, money gives me the freedom to achieve success in every other aspect of my life. If I've got enough money, if I have financial abundance, I can hire a fitness coach to achieve my health and fitness goals. I can hire a financial advisor to help me with my finance goals. I can invest into more learning to meet my intellectual goals, which will also help with my career goals. I can buy and own things to meet my vision of the quality of life that I aspire for myself. I can travel. I can have cultural experiences around the world with my loved ones that will fill my heart with joy. So these are the things that I want financial abundance for. What can you think about that is going to drive your desire for achieving financial abundance and freedom for yourself? Once you have that defined, some steps that you can put into action starting from today. You're going to need to make some changes to what and how you make money. Yeah. If you continue doing whatever it is that you were doing so far, there's really not going to be any difference. Obviously, we have to make some change in order to drive a different outcome to what you already have today. This category is closely related to actually the career category, because it's the career category that drives wealth creation, which will help you attain your financial abundance. So these two categories, the finance and the career category, are very, very closely related. Now, we'll be covering the career category in tomorrow's episode. Having said that, career is related to how you make money. Financial abundance is related to how you manage your money. So let's first think about how to manage money, and then we can talk about how to make money tomorrow. So let's start with, do you have a financial plan for yourself? Most of us don't think seriously about this. I know I didn't for at least 15 years into my career. So like me, if you come from an educational background which was not finance focused, you want to get some help here. Hire an accountant or an advisor. And yes, that is spending money. Wise money so that you can understand how to be more efficient and strategic with your finance management, so that your financial picture can get better. This is not an area like the parking ticket that you want to cut costs on. All right. You want to think about 3 things when you put your financial plan together. It will take some time and effort, and it may not be fun. It wasn't for me, but once you've done it, the clarity that you will get will be absolutely liberating. So trust the process and invest a little bit of your time into it for a lot more of good times in the future. I promise. So 3 things to consider when you're putting your financial plan together. You want to set the time horizon on your financial plan on a long-term window. Don't do it for a short-term window. Today's action steps have to be aligned to what you want to, where you want to be 5 to 10 years from today. Let's think about this. In order to get an engineering job at 21 with an IT company, ideally, what would we do? We would choose science while we were still in high school at the age of 16, followed by a degree with an IT engineering university, right? So we've backtracked 5 years in order to make sure that we get to that long-term goal that we want to get to after 5 years. That's exactly what you need to do with your finances as well. We have to backtrack from our financial goal to define those right action steps today. You want to get clarity on what are you spending and how much are you saving every month. You want to put in some self-discipline. The goal is to spend less and save more long term. And you can only do that when you know where you're spending so that you can make any appropriate changes to your spending patterns based on the savings plan that you design for yourself. So if you are 35 today and you expect to work till 60, that gives you 25 more years or 300 months to save for retirement. How much do you want by then? Hence, how much do you need to save every month to get there from now? You could incorporate this month immediately. A good strategy is to save at least 10% of what you make every month. Put that aside, calculate those numbers. You'll work out what you want to end up with, and you can put down a really simple savings plan towards it, just with a bit of self-discipline. Invest wisely. If there is a risk of losing money, don't invest. You may have experienced the loss of money. I have, and I'm sure that we will both agree that it is not fun. It does not feel good. So why do it? Also understand where you're investing this money. If you don't have the right acumen to read the market, get some help. Get a trusted advisor to guide you wisely into this. Don't invest in what you don't understand. Stocks are not the only area that one can invest in. There's art, there's cars, there's properties, antiques, wine. Is there an interest or a knack in an area that you have which is worth investing into? Think about it. You may be surprised at what you find. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I look forward to talking to you about the career category in tomorrow's episode, which is closely related to today's episode. If you've got any questions based on today's episode or any other questions that have come up with you from other episodes, drop me a line. I'd love to address it in the upcoming episodes. Until tomorrow, I'll see you. Take care and stay awesome.